I would bet, given the option with these two balls, there's some people watching at home right now that are making a poor decision every time when they're faced with quite a simple chip around the green. Guys, I'm Matt Fry, a PGA professional, and in today's lesson I'm going to do three things for you. I'm going to tell you which option you should be taking, how to play it, and also give you a drill to help you actually get used to the shot and start playing it more frequently and start saving shots, more importantly, around the green and not waste them. Because I know in this situation there will have been times when we feel very frustrated, like we've wasted an effort because we've seen the ball whiz across the green, we've duffed it in front of us and we felt like it was the easiest shot possible, but we walk off with too many shots on the scorecard. So let's get stuck into the lesson and find out what they are. Okay, so this scenario here, I've got two golf balls here, both in a little bit of rough. I've got 1, 2, 3 paces till I reach the green, and then I've got about another 20 paces till I reach the flag. Now, what I would see in the wrong option is that a lot of people are taking lob wedge here. The reason this is the wrong option is because there's nothing in front of me here. I've literally, like I say, I've got 3 paces of green and that at fringe, and then I've got 20 paces of green. Also, in this rough here, it's a little bit messy at the moment because it's winter, so it's sat down, there's a little bit of mud around the ball. I'm not quite certain of the contact I would get on the actual golf ball if I were to make the big swing. I might get a little bit of grass trapped between the ball, I might get mud. It's a little bit damp as well, so if I don't quite catch it perfectly, I run the risk with a lob wedge of leaving it on the fringe here, which I would imagine a lot of people would do. And also, because of that uncertainty of contact, you might get a little bit nervous over it, and I would imagine we've hit the shot where we'd pull out of it, feel a little bit jerky, and we see it going past the flag at 100 miles an hour, and we think, oh, you know, here we go again, now I've got to hit the same shot once more. So what we want to try and do is limit the mistakes by taking a flatter face club, i.e. a 7-iron, and then start to see that even if we're getting a little bit of a dodgy contact, we're still getting away with a poor strike and actually getting a pretty decent result from the better shot choice, which would be that chip and run shot. So when faced with no real obstacles there and only a little bit of light rough, that yeah, the contact might not be great, let's not see that we're going straight to our most lofted club and trying to throw it all the way to the flag. Let's try and get the ball on the green running as quickly as possible like a putt, because if I was about 6 inches in front here, I'd be putting it because I'm on the fringe. Here, I don't know if I'm going to get dodgy contact with the putter, so I wouldn't. So let's try and make it act like a putt so we can control it a lot better. Let's take a look at that shot right now and see how we're going to play it. Okay, so playing the shot, we've selected a less lofted club, i.e. I'm going to be using a 7-iron here. I find 6-iron, 7-iron, 8-iron are great for the chip and run shots. Even 9-iron's pretty good, but we want sort of that mid-iron range, because all we're looking for as a rule of thumb would be that we fly it 1/3 of the way and it runs 2/3 of the way. So like I say here, there's no obstacle in between myself and the flag down there, so I may as well just get it on the green as quickly as possible and then just let it run. What I want to try and do, if there were any little humps and hollows or swales in front of me, I want to pick a flat point as well. Land it on a flat point so I know how it's going to react when it lands, and then let it run out from there like a putt. If you hit it into an upslope or a downslope, you're not quite sure what's going to happen when we do it. So the shot itself, what we want to try and do, we're going to narrow down our stance because we're not going to be making a big swing, because like I say, we're going to get it running like a putt, so that doesn't really take much momentum. So I always like to say sort of 2 club heads width in between the feet. Then we're going to have the ball placed in the middle of our body. And then from there, we're going to lean about 70% of our weight into our lead foot. From here, then, I like to just stand the shaft up a little bit more as if it were my putter. I'm not addressing it like I would do my normal 7-iron. I'm seeing that it would be a little bit more upright here. Then from there, like I say, we're trying to get it running like a putt. So sometimes you might even want to adopt your putting grip in this selection of shots. So if you are someone who has the finger running down the shaft, that's okay, because we're not actually going to be breaking our wrists like we do in a putt, like we don't in the same way we don't do in a putt. We're not playing a big lob shot, so we don't need quite a big swing. So adopting your putting grip is still okay here. For me, I don't generally do that. I just try and make sure that ball's in the middle, weights forward, and then that I'm going to get this little downward strike on it, and see that the big thing that I want to try and do is keep the handle in front of the head. I'm not trying to hit it up in the air, because like we say, it's a running shot, it's played along the ground. So I want to see that I'm keeping the loft off the face, and I do that by just keeping the handle in front of the club head and just making this nice smooth motion. There's not a big acceleration through it, and from there all I'm looking to do then is pick a spot, like I say, 1/3 down the hole, and see that I just pop it out nice and smooth. Off it goes running. Sit. A tiny bit bowled. I've gone about 6 feet by there, but wasn't a bad shot. It wasn't probably my best strike either, but with, like I say, the choice of club, even if I don't get my best shot, if I catch it a little heavy or a little bit thin, I'm still going to see that I actually get a pretty decent result from the shot. So pop it out, nice little bit of run, simple, and pretty much the same result. It's pulled up a foot shy of the other one. So ball in the middle of the stance with the narrow stance, weight forwards, and let's keep the loft off the club by keeping the handle in front of the club head as we're making our small pendulum-like swings. Let's have a look at a little drill that can help you actually start to get used to playing this shot. Okay, so the final part of the video, the drill that we need to start doing to make sure we're getting used to the chip and run shot and how far it flies and how far it runs. As you can see here, I've got 3 clubs laid out on the ground, a nice little ladder drill. What we want to try and do is land the ball near each club and see how far it rolls. So like I said earlier, we want to try and get it 1/3 to 2/3. So if we looked at number 1, number 2 and number 3, I would say 1 and 2 are probably the closest to that 1/3 barrier. So if I were to just try and land my ball next to number 2 now, good setup, and I've landed it pretty close. It's got a chance of going in, that one. Ooh, was a good shot, good strike, good direction, but it's run on about 12 to 15 feet too far. So it would make sense now that I don't aim at number 3 because it's gone too far already. So I want to draw back to try and land it at ladder number 1. And if I was doing this, once I've done it with my 7 iron, I could maybe do it with my 8 iron and my 6 iron. Nice little shot there, runs out, and I start to actually get an idea of how far the ball should fly and should run, because that one now, the second shot that I've just hit, pitched very close to ladder number 1, and I've pretty much got a tap in there. So a really simple drill, giving you a gauge of distance down the hole, giving you an idea of how far to fly it and how far it should run. Then you can start to get control of the chip and run shot as you're going through it. Like I say, they're such a simple shot. The swing isn't overly long. We don't have to do anything overly technical, but it's so easy to play and gives us such a good result, as where the lob wedge with the long swing is quite technical. We've got to get the perfect strike. Otherwise, we're left with quite a poor result. So get to grips with the chip and run shot, guys. If you've not ever played it before, get on your chipping green, try the ladder drill, go through the other 2 tips to start with, and you should see that you're not wasting shots anymore when you're out around the greens. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video this week. If you have, do remember to hit the like button and comment down below which is your favourite club to chip and run with. Also, remember, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any future lessons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.